The chef learned from some of the best in the world. But instead of opening a fine dining restaurant, he used that experience to open a barbecue place. Now it's one of the hottest places in Singapore. They were on Netflix, wrote a best-selling cookbook, and got a Michelin star. This place is so popular, getting a table is a real nightmare. But today I got one, and I'm taking you to Burnt Ends. Welcome back to Singapore. But this time we are heading to a different part of the city, Dempsey Road. This district was named after a general because it is a former military base. But through the years it transformed into one of the most outstanding parts in the city. Green surroundings, organized, nicely maintained environment, filled with restaurants and coffee shops. If you have got a ton of money and you have fallen in love with this neighborhood, I have got some bad news for you. There are strict rules on buying property here. If you're a foreigner, you simply can't. So we arrive at the place, and from the outside it's just a calm, quiet neighborhood. Except there is this massive smoker that tells us we are exactly where we need to be. On the inside, it's a whole different story. The space has a nice, cozy feeling. There is a lot of wood in the interior, so it's nice and warm. And obviously, the fire behind the kitchen counter gives this warm, homey feeling. And this is what we are here for. There is also a private dining room with 14 seats and a 6-meter-long table. Here, they serve experimental items and off-menu dishes. The staff is already preparing for the day. The open kitchen is beautiful, and it's nice to watch the busy people in it. The music is great, the vibes are cool, I love it. We got ourselves a seat at the counter, so we can see the action from the close and feel the flames. There is an a la carte and a chef's menu. And while I usually go with the latter, this time we decide about the food ourselves. I notice a concerning thing on the menu. The date. It's Friday 13th. Uh-oh, do you have a black cat? Well, whatever this unlucky day brings us, it will surely be better with a glass of champagne. I have been to this restaurant 3 times already, so I know their wine list pretty well. Then I saw a bottle of Dom Perignon. Not my obvious choice, but when I see the year 1996, it gets a lot harder to say no. And I didn't say no. Before we start, we get a glimpse of our main course. This is a gorgeous Australian Wagyu, and I can't wait to get there. Just like Rocky before training, we start the day with a small protein bomb. It's smoked quail tart with creme fraiche and a generous amount of caviar. What could I say? Caviar with egg. It's simple like a punch in your face, and the effect is kinda the same. Then we move on to a wedding of Italian and Greek inventions.
So second dish, this one is our grissini and tara salata.
Grissini needs no introduction. This tasty stick is the best friend of Italian afternoons, wines and cheeses. Tara salata is a salty and fishy cream from Greek cuisine, which I haven't tried so far. Until now. There is crunch, creaminess, saltiness, and a bit of sourness. It's got everything in it. And just a side note, it goes really well with the champagne. This is a simple dish, but loaded with beautiful and clean flavors. This is a perfect example of why I love this place.
Steak, fries and fish and chips.
The first one is topped with Australian Wagyu beef tartare, finished elegantly with French caviar. The other is Japanese hamechi tartare, seasoned with fresh lemon, chili dressing, dill oil, shio kombu, polo crow powder, fresh chives and dill. So it's actually fish and chips. I love the structure of the dish. Great ingredients and all the flavor in a single bite. Then we have beef and uni, or sea urchin, if your Japanese is rusty. It's a fire-kissed Wagyu chucktail, wrapped with fresh shiso leaf and topped with Japanese Hokkaido uni. Every bite is pure joy, and actually this joy is in each of the chef's dishes. Talking about the chef, meet Dave Pynt, the chef and owner of Burnt Ends. He cooked alongside and learned from some of the world's best chefs, including René Redzepi at Noma, Tetsuya Wakuda in Sydney, and Fergus Henderson of St. John in London. He got some experience in Echevarri in Spain, which I have already made a video about. No wonder Chef Pynt was inspired by that and decided he wanted to work with fire. Burnt Ends was originally a pop-up restaurant in London. Then, in 2013, it opened in Singapore, and in 5 years, it got its first star.
Restaurant Burnt Ends.
In 2021, it moved to this location, twice as big as its previous space. Not only the space, but the empire has gotten bigger too. Burnt Ends Hospitality Group has multiple restaurants, from Singapore to Doha, to Jakarta, to the Maldives. Doing his thing, sometimes we have a quick chat between two plates. His idea about both life and career is to enjoy what you are doing or don't do it. I love that approach. Our next dish is called white pepper chicken neck. It's grilled chicken neck, dusted with white pepper and served with a grilled spring onion. A simple bite, but flavorful. What I notice is how few are working in the kitchen and for how many guests. Like there are about 80 seats here, and those are all occupied both at lunch and dinner. That means tight tempo and hard work in the kitchen. Hats off. Great energy in this place. It feels good to sit here. And since it's an Aussie barbecue with an Australian chef, what else could match our next dish than an Aussie wine? It's a Bas Philippe Nebbiolo from 2019. With it, we have some kind of meatball in a lettuce leaf. This meatball is actually made of roasted pig head. Like many of the other dishes, this is also full of Asian flavors. Strong and fresh onion notes, chilies and soy sauce. On the top we have sisig aioli and crispy chicken skin. So many impressions in such a tiny thing. A good dish. Our next course is unagi or Japanese eel, grilled and glazed, served with roasted bone marrow on white toast. Beautiful shiny silky texture, and the flavor is just exploding.
Hey guys, next up, this is your slow grilled maitake mushroom with a white congee and a sriracha egg. Mix this together, use it as a salsa.
Next up is mushroom with egg. A maitake mushroom to be precise, which was slow grilled and soaked in smoked beef fat. On the side we have a porridge with a soy cured egg yolk. Well, you can imagine the flavors. Salty, rich, umami. So far we have had cooked, grilled, smoked and burnt food. So is this a barbecue? Well, it's an interesting thing, because it depends on who you ask. Americans, both Southerners and Northerners, Europeans, Asians, Aussies and Africans will say different things. Smoking, grilling, cooking on direct or indirect heat, wood, coal, charcoal, gas, the roof of the car, whatever. But if you take it on a spiritual level, fire has been around since the beginning, and it quickly became a cornerstone of social life as soon the humans found it. For a good while, people used to gather around the fire for warmth. Then they started to gather around the fire for food as well. Chef Pynt is from Australia, and Aussie barbecue is exactly about this. They used to place the barbecue pit in the center place so people could have fun around it. It's tradition that you bring meat, vegetables, fruits, use training shoes, anything really, and then throw it on the barbie mate, and that's it. No strict rules, flames, food, fun. This restaurant is a nice interpretation of that experience. In 2024, Chef Pynt published his book called Burnt Ends. And here is our next dish, a king crab. It was slowly grilled and served with garlic-infused brown butter. There are capers and parsley on top and fresh lemon on the side. The texture of the crab is insanely good. Beautiful ingredient, perfectly cooked, and one of the highlights of today. And here we are, finally arrived at the main course. Until it's done, let's meet the next wine. A 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon by Domaine A. Domaine A sits in one of the cleanest, most untouched natural areas in the world. And here is the big boy, a Wagyu ribeye steak served with salad. A great steak, that's it. Cooking with fire may look simple, but it really isn't, especially in restaurant. As a chef, you aim for consistency in your dishes, but the only consistent thing in fire is inconsistency. The wood, the cold, the behavior of the fire and smoke, the temperature. You constantly have to adapt. It's like a marriage, except fire is not that little. So mastering the fire takes a lot of practice. Judging by this steak, I have to say, they are good friends with fire. This guy is called Patrick, and he is the sous chef. He's not only a professional in the kitchen, but a very nice lad. I love him, just like I love this steak. But there is one thing I love more. It's when you subscribe. So do me and yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Thank you. We arrived at the desserts. The first one is this, mixed berry and vanilla. It is what it sounds like. Nice sweetness and mild acidity from the berries. Next we have a berry tart. The pastry and almond frangipane based tart, baked with fresh blueberries and raspberries. On top is vanilla chantilly cream. This is a true comfort dessert and I could eat it anytime. Finally a marshmallow, a true childhood favorite. I mean, not mine of course, since we used to cook bacon and onions on a campfire. You know, Balkan things in the Soviet bloc. Believe me, it has its charm, but I saw marshmallows in a lot of movies, so I always imagined it must be delicious. And it is. This one here is coated in orange and cinnamon. Smoky, sweet, and a little bit sour. And I am loving it. And with that, our meal has ended. The total is $2,200 for two. I had a really good time here. It wasn't my first occasion, and definitely wasn't the last. The service was nice, but sometimes they sleep here and there. There are a lot of guests here, so it's not a classical fine dining restaurant. Chef Dave was working in extraordinary restaurants like Noma. I'm sure he could do anything, but he chose this. It's like Puccini and Metallica. Opera has more than 50 people on instruments and 30 in the chorus. Each the best in their role, and they are playing for hundreds. Metallica has 4 guys, top musicians, playing for tens of thousands. It's not easy to make opera, and not easy to be Metallica either. Both give you an amazing experience, but one is making a bit more money. Chef Dave doesn't sing opera. He plays in a band that gives you unforgettable concerts. Bird Ends understands what people need. And with strong rustic flavors, they fulfill these desires. It's that simple. Quality ingredients, clever dishes that include everything that makes food great. Pure joy. So Chef Dave is not just an amazing chef, but a great businessman too. There is no better proof that this restaurant is always full of people. And I tell you, I will always be part of that full house whenever I come to this part of the world. And that is it for this episode. Thank you for joining me. If you like this video, hit subscribe. See you next time.
You can call me stupid.